It was a dark and stormy night, the kind that made you want to stay indoors with a cup of hot tea and a good book. But I had to go out. I had to drive to my friend's house on the other side of town. We had plans to watch a movie and hang out, and I couldn't cancel at the last minute. As I drove, the wind howled and the rain pounded against my windshield. I turned up the heat and the music, trying to distract myself from the creepy atmosphere. But it didn't work. The trees seemed to loom over me, their branches like skeletal fingers reaching out to snatch me. I arrived at my friend's house, a small bungalow on the outskirts of town. The porch light was on, casting an eerie glow over the front door. I pulled up and honked the horn, but there was no answer. I waited for a few minutes, wondering if my friend was running late or if she had forgotten about our plans. But then I saw a light flicker on inside the house, and I knew she was home. I got out of the car and ran up to the front door, ringing the bell and pounding on the door. But there was no answer. I tried calling her phone, but it went straight to voicemail. I was starting to get worried. What if something had happened to my friend? What if she was hurt or in trouble? I decided to take matters into my own hands. I walked around to the back of the house, looking for an open window or an unlocked door. And that's when I saw it. A window on the ground floor was open, just a crack. I found myself in a dark and dusty room, the air thick with the scent of old books and decay. I fumbled for my phone and turned on the flashlight app, casting a weak beam of light around the room. As I moved deeper into the house, I started to feel a creeping sense of dread. The air seemed to grow colder, the shadows twisting and writhing on the walls. I moved from room to room, calling out my friend's name and listening for any response. But there was nothing, just the creaking of the old house, the howling of the wind outside. And then I saw it, a figure standing in the doorway of the living room, tall and imposing, its face twisted into a grotesque grin. I froze, my heart pounding in my chest. I tried to speak, but my voice caught in my throat. The figure didn't move, didn't speak. It just stood there, watching me. I knew I had to get out of there, fast. I turned and ran, dashing back through the rooms and out the window. I didn't stop running until I was back in my car, speeding away from the house as fast as I could. I didn't stop until I was safe in my own bed, the covers pulled up to my chin. I knew I would never forget that night, the scariest night of my life. But as I lay there trying to calm my racing heart, I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being watched, that the figure from the house was still out there waiting for me. And when I finally drifted off to sleep, I was haunted by a terrible dream, a dream in which I was back in that house, facing the figure once again.